depending on where you're PCSing, it doesn't always make sense to use your VA. There's some states where you have to own a home for 5, 6, 7 years just to even break even. Here in Washington, Pierce County, King County, Thurston County, these are counties where it would make sense to use your VA. PCSing to Washington and things to know. A lot of military families make that decision to go out there and use their VA, and a lot of the times they have little to no knowledge about what the VA actually offers. It's actually pretty rare for us to run into a family that fully knows how to maximize all their VA benefits. That's what we're going to touch on today, just kind of give you guys a little bit of insight of things you need to know, and then at a later time we can dive a little bit deeper into them as well. When you're active military and you're PCSing somewhere, there's some states where it doesn't make sense to use your VA. There's some places where you have to own a home for like 5, 6, 7 years to even break even. That might not be practical when you know you're only going to be there for 2 to 5 years. Here in Washington, Pierce County, King County, Thurston County, these are counties where it would make sense to use your VA. We have a very fast-paced moving market, and it usually doesn't take long for us to appreciate where you can now sell that home to where you can break even or even start making money. We're going to kind of touch on just some of the big benefits that we get. So obviously a lot of people know zero down. That is something where majority of people will know. That's what's nice about the VA loan. It's a federally backed loan. It's zero down. And on top of that, you don't have mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance is something that is tagged on to every single loan that doesn't have 20% down. With a VA loan, there is no mortgage insurance. And so generally your monthly payments are going to be a little bit better versus even somebody that's coming to the table with 5 or 10% down. One of the biggest benefits that we miss out on simply because we don't know that it exists is getting personal debt paid off. When you use a VA loan, you can negotiate up to 4% of the purchase price to literally pay off your personal debt at the closing table. And so if you bought a $500,000 house, you can get up to 20 grand to literally pay off your truck that you just bought, credit cards, student loans, any existing debt that you have. This is one of the biggest benefits that you get that you simply miss out on just because you don't know that it exists. This is not added to the loan. It's not added to the purchase price. It's something you have to negotiate directly from the seller, the same way you would negotiate closing cost. So that's one of the bigger ones. There's a lot of smaller ones too that obviously do equate to a lot. Another one is going to be what time of the month to close. If you ask this to any real estate agent, a lot of the times they're going to tell you the end of the month, which is true with every single type of loan. With a VA loan, especially if you get the seller to pay all of your closing costs, it's always best to close in the beginning of the month. It takes about 45 days for your BAH to kick in, and closing in the beginning of the month gives you 2 months without making a mortgage payment. For example, you closed at the end of the month, your payment would be due that following month. And a lot of the times you would have to come out of pocket to cover your first month mortgage. And so closing in the beginning of the month actually gives you that little break where you have 2 months before your first mortgage comes in. And so these are small things, but they're really key to remember, just so you're not putting yourself in a difficult situation once your first payment comes in. Another thing is going to be escrow. Escrow is the middleman between the buyer and the seller. If you've used your VA before, you're well aware of what escrow is. If you've never used your VA before, escrow again is the middleman between the buyer and the seller, and they're handling the transaction. There's generally a charge that is associated with escrow, but that charge is also a non-allowable VA cost, meaning you as the veteran are not supposed to be paying that. But if you work with a real estate agent that doesn't specify this in the purchase and sale agreement, you get stuck paying that cost even though it's a non-allowable VA cost. And so those are just the ones I want to touch on just briefly. The debt payoff is probably the biggest one that most people miss out on. Every single VA buyer we're working with right now, not only are we getting their closing costs paid for, but we're also getting personal debt paid off for them as well. All right, what steps do you need to take before actually making that move or even deciding that you want to use your VA? The first one is doing a VA workshop, getting information. I think the more educated you are, the better decisions naturally you're going to make. The next thing is going through the approval process. Just because you get pre-approved, that doesn't mean you need to buy a house. The way I look at an approval is like just gathering more information and better understanding where you sit financially and what things you can work on from now until you actually decide to use your VA. A lot of the times people realize there's things that they could have been working on, and this will bring a lot of those to light to where you can actively start working on those and then putting you in a better position once you are ready to actually buy a house. The next thing is learning about different areas. Where should I buy a home? What city is better than the next? Kind of a key thing is look at school zones, look at crime rate, and a lot of the times those will indicate what areas you should look in, and generally those are going to be homes that appreciate faster as well. The tip I'm going to give you, especially if you're active military, and you're going to be leaving here in the next few years, is find a home that is 30 minutes or less to JBLM. Generally, you do want 3 bedrooms. You want it to have 2 baths, a 2-car garage, and a decent sized yard. And the reason why I'm giving you that criteria is because these types of homes have the biggest and largest audience of buyers looking at these homes. I know this is going to be a home for your family, but if you look at this as an investment, it will pay you like an investment. And you want to try to find a property that would be a good rental property in the event in a few years from now you decided not to sell it and rent it out to somebody else to where they can pay your mortgage payment off for you. Some things you need to know about Washington real estate market, where I know in some states it's different. Here, real estate agents get paid for 100% by sellers. And so you really want to pick an agent that you fully trust, that you know that they're knowledgeable and that they're going to guide you in the right direction. And what do I mean by that? What does that actually look like? Let's say you're out of state and you're PCSing here. Not only are they going to educate you on different areas and where to be, but they're going to also go out to those areas, do video tours for you, and send you videos that are detailed regarding the house, regarding the area. I know it might not be the same of you walking a home, but it's definitely going to give you a better perspective of like what we're actually dealing with and what those homes look for. We've sold a lot of homes to people that are PCSing here where they've never seen their home in person until they've actually gotten here. It's not ideal, we understand that, but a lot of the times this is just providing another solution to buyers. Ideally, we would have them come here and look at it in person, but at the same time, we like to make sure we are providing a variety of options for our clients who are out of state. If you've used your VA before and you currently still own that home with your VA, when you come here to Pierce County, we have a cap that's just over $1 million. Basically meaning if you've already used, let's say $300,000 of that, you would take that 300, subtract it from that million. I believe it's like $1,065,000, right around there. And then that would leave you, with just over $700,000 left that you can use on that same VA certificate. If you've never used your VA before, or if you've used it, but you've already sold that home, or you've refinanced it out of your VA, you basically don't have a cap. So basically you can go buy any home at any price with zero down. If you're going to be PCSing in Washington, again, focus on education. If you guys have any resources where they do provide VA workshops, take them. Our VA workshops are a little bit different because we really do focus on the benefits we miss out on simply because we don't know that they exist. If you would like to do an online or a FaceTime or a Zoom workshop with us, reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. Even if you're not moving to Washington, let's say you came across this video and you're moving somewhere else. We would love to still be able to assist you in making sure that you have all the information you need so you are prepared when you use your VA next. Because again, this is information you can use anywhere in the United States. This isn't just for Washington. This is anywhere in the United States. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this video beneficial. If there was something I missed out or just any general questions you guys had, feel free to reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to assist you guys.